Brothers, this is your brother Yusuf. I'm trying to keep this brief. I've been promising to upload to my private channel something to this conversation that they've been having all over the internet. Um, and the primary goal for this video, along with any other the videos in the series that I plan on uploading, is really kind of like speak to myself and speak to you brothers about things that I feel like is important and contribute to this important conversation that we're having. I like to entitle this series initially "Man Talk." Is something that comes from a word that I have with conversations I have with my father. So a lot of these conversations is a conversation that sons should already had with their fathers, and it's the type of conversation that brothers should have with brothers. Whether it be your actual blood brothers or your brothers in faith or your brothers in the struggle, etc. So there's a lot of things when it comes to being a man. It's hard to boil it up into one statement because it means so much. First of all, in order to be a man, you have to behave like an adult. And that's something that a man or a woman needs to do. And it's something that they need to learn, and it starts in their upbringing. Unfortunately, these days, a lot of us have been done the disservice of not having a proper upbringing, and that's why we see so many problems throughout the world, but especially in our community, in African American community. So, the first thing about being a man is just being a responsible adult. But men hold a pivotal place in society, just like women do, that the other doesn't occupy. So women hold an important place in society that men cannot occupy. It takes a woman to do a woman's job. So it's very important that women understand their role and their importance in society, and the specific demands that it's going to take for her to fill that role that no one else can and no one else should. Similarly, as a man, you fulfill a specific need in society that no one but you can fulfill. No one but you should fulfill. It's nobody else's job but yours. And that's why it's important to have these man talks with your fathers. So, as a father, primarily speaking to my sons and the young men that I'm raising, I'm having this discussion. But also, I hope and I pray, my prayer and my hope is that this also reaches those who are less fortunate or those who need reinforcement in these principles. So, today's topic will be about purpose. It's very important as a man to know one's purpose. To know that you have a purpose. To know there is a great purpose. To know there is important purpose. And know it is your purpose in this world to fulfill. Without purpose, there's no meaning to what you do. You have the meaning of what you do is predicated on the purpose of why you do it. That's everything starts with the purpose. That's not to say that if you have a good purpose or you think you have the right purpose that you're still doing the right thing. No, but it's the first step. And it's the first consideration. And as a man, you have to understand you have a specific purpose in this world. There are many different statements about manhood and the purpose of a man in the world and the purpose of a man in the family. So we'll kind of start with the man in itself and how it blossoms into the family. So you as a young man or old man have a purpose. You have to understand that you're here in this world for a reason that you didn't bring yourself about. You didn't bring yourself about, and I won't get too preachy because I'm trying to keep this for general consumption, but You got to understand that you didn't bring yourself into this world. This world existed before you and most likely will exist after you. But in between that, when you come and before you leave, you have to understand that you were not just some random occurrence, that you were destined to be. And that destiny carries a potential to either be the greatest winner or the greatest loser. And what's going to dictate that the most is your understanding of your purpose. You have to understand that you're here for a reason. You got to understand that you're here for a service. My father always liked to say that a man guides, provides, and protects. I don't know where he got that from, but it's sure enough the truth. It might as well be scripture. A man must guide, provide, and protect. In order to guide, you have to have a direction. If you don't know where you're going, then you're going nowhere. Unfortunately, it's even worse than that. If you don't know where you're going towards the worst possibility. So you got to understand, you got to look out in the world and see, what direction that you need to go. And you need to hit that direction. You need to understand that your direction before you set off on the journey. And that's before involving anybody else in your journey. Okay, so we're born a child. Before you're an adult, you need to try to figure out, and this is what your family should be providing with you, the information of where you should be going in life. It shouldn't be up for you to reinvent the wheel. That's number one. So under guide, you have to have direction. Number two, under provide, you have to have resources. You have to be resourceful. And that's another mistake that a lot of people make. They're not resourceful. They don't have any resources. How are you going to provide and protect? In order to protect, you have to have an infrastructure within yourself and without yourself in order to maintain life. And that means being physically prepared, mentally prepared, and also economically prepared, spiritually prepared. So I'm going to have to end it right here, but these are some thoughts that we're having. Hopefully, in the future, be able to extend it. I don't want to go too far over like 10, 15 minutes. But some of these clips are going to have to be like 5 minutes. And I apologize ahead of time for the editing. Still learning this. But this is the first edition of Man Talk. So you got to understand that you need the purpose. And that purpose has to be clear and firm, and you have to be unmovable, and you have to be unshakable in that purpose. But you have to understand, you have to learn and have learning and understanding before you can do all those things. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.